Yeah, you seeing him?
I see the back of
Yeah,
his.
that's him. Yeah, that's him. He's chilling.
All right. Well, now that the dog is chilling, we can move on to starting for the evening. We've got to make sure all of our animals are set and calm. I know I do. I kick mine out. My name is Tiffany Hall. I'm an alumni of TripleTen Software Engineering Program, and I am also a full stack engineer at Scholastic Inc., the world's largest publisher of children's books and a powerhouse in the digital education space as well. Tonight, I'm super excited because I get to be the host of our July Code Jam for our software engineering students. All of these lovely faces that you're seeing with me today are our students that have been um, working tirelessly for the last 4 days with their team to create a minimum viable project. So I am glad to see that so many people could join. We have lots of live presentations tonight. I'm very excited. It seems like our YouTube chat is very live and hip hopping and thriving already. So I'm very excited about that as well. Feel free to ask any questions if you have them in the chat as a viewer. So let's talk about what is a code jam. So if you're watching and you're not familiar with that, a code jam is a friendly competition at TripleTen that we like to do with our students. So it takes place during their normal coursework, and we give our students a prompt and a super short timeline, very short. Then our students get together in groups and then they jam out a bunch of code to meet whatever the prompt is. There's prizes for most of the students, specifically the winner and the audience favorite winner. Most of us are just competing for the thing that all developers want, which is a clean Jira board. That's not true. That's probably just what I want. But you guys all probably want pride and like dignity and happiness because you win. So we'll go ahead and give those out tonight too. We have two parts of our project. The first part is the coding, which all of our teams have completed over the last 4 days. They submitted their code last night, and the judges will spend the next week evaluating that and giving feedback. Today is the second part, which is the presentation. So all of our teams are going to show their project to all of you out there watching, and then our judges for the presentation parts will take the next week to review those. And we will also be counting votes from our Discord channel where we have other students voting and from our YouTube channel where we have audience votes as well. Our results are going to be posted on our Instagram and Discord on July 24th, so you can make sure to check out there. If students have a favorite project, again, please put your votes in the Discord. If you are an audience member with and not a student of ours yet, then please put your votes in the chat. All right, so now it's time for my favorite part, which is where we get to talk to all of the teams and we get to see what they've accomplished over the last 4 days. All right, we've got 6 teams, super packed. I'm very excited. And our first team is going to be Sunny Spoon. So, who is on Sunny Spoon?
Hi, my name is Jennifer, and my teammate is Corey.
Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make sure you've got the rights to share. You do. Okay. Feel free to kick it off whenever you're ready.
Okay. All right, I'm sharing my screen.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Corey. I'm here with Jennifer, and we created Sunny Spoon. We did run out of time to deploy this on GitHub Pages, but we're deploying it locally here for everyone tonight. The purpose of Sunny Spoon was to provide a convenient solution to anyone looking to enjoy refreshing meals during these hot summer months. Users can simply click on a variety of summer-related ingredients, and the website will generate a variety of fresh summer recipes tailored to those ingredients. Now, building this website was not without its challenges. Initially, we had planned to use Figma, but we quickly learned that we did not really know how to create using Figma, so we switched to Canva, and that was nice due to the simplicity and ease of the use. But we also learned that achieving a pixel-perfect website required a lot of trial and error, which was fine. We did it. One major challenge was also ensuring the layout looked good on all devices. So to overcome this, we used CSS, Flexbox, and Grid, which provided the flexibility needed to create a responsive design. Diving into the technical aspect of the website, starting with the HTML structure, we used semantic HTML tags like the header, nav, section, and footer, ensuring better accessibility. Our header includes links to the home, about, and contact pages. These are located inside the nav tags, which help users easily navigate the website. This section is also styled to maintain a consistent look and feel with the rest of the website. Now, I used the CSS Flexbox and Grid to create a responsive and flexible layout that I think looks great on all devices. Our color scheme features light and refreshing tones, and our typography is clean and easy to read. Media queries ensure that our design adapts to different screen sizes, providing an optimal user experience on both the desktop and mobile devices, as you can see here. We have a section where users can select their ingredients, as you can see. Creating the input functionality for ingredients involved using semantic HTML elements to ensure accessibility. And the design choice keeps the interface straightforward and user-friendly. So that being said, I'm going to switch over to Jennifer to talk more about the backend.
So going to the functionality of this form section, we have the aforementioned checkboxes where every time you click or unclick a checkbox, it automatically updates the results that you're getting down in this results section. Originally, we had in our design to have a text input in the form so that the user can add any customized ingredients to the search query. But with the time constraint, it was too difficult to figure out how to have one query that is including inputs from checkbox and like a customized text box. But that's something that we would want to like implement later in the future. So going into this results part of the website, the simplicity of the checkbox form and the population of results removes any burden of choice from the user, giving like less stress during this already insufferable heat. And since we used a React framework, we were able to design a reusable component for each recipe card that you see here. Like this is a recipe card, this is a recipe card. So we use just one simple component, and for each recipe card, we're calling an API call. For each query, we're calling an API call that is populating just the first 6 recipes and their information, such as the image and the title, onto these cards, and just automatically populating it that way. And we chose 6 just to keep things short and sweet, at least for today's presentation. And we did 6 by slicing the first results from the general API call and iterating through that. The call gives us the name, ingredients, and where possible instructions. We aren't able to get instructions for all the recipes that pop up, and that's one challenge we faced. We're working with a new API service, so we did have to parse through a lot of documentation that we weren't really used to and didn't know that not all of them come with instructions. So moving forward, we would use a whole new API service altogether. That completes like our walkthrough of the website, but to reiterate some parts of like what we would do in the future, we would have the text box up in the form above. We would also have, when you click this view recipe button for each recipe card, it would open up a new page that would have more details about the recipe so that the user can actually make whatever delicious meal they see in the image here, right? And we would also have the nutritional facts as part of the page so the user knows what they're putting in their body. And we believe these enhancements will make our website even more user-friendly and versatile than it already is. And that concludes our presentation. Are we taking questions or no?
I would love if you would take questions.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Me, I have questions.
Okay.
Okay. First thing is I love the color scheme. I think it's super awesome. Very bright and cheery. So kudos on that. I wanted to talk about the challenges you guys had with deployment, because that is something that everybody on this team faces. And so I want us to maybe like, what was the challenge this time around with the deployment? And how are you making sure that we're going to be able to open it locally?
So we're already opening it locally right now since we weren't able to deploy it onto GitHub Pages. The challenge we were facing, since this is a React framework and this is the first time any of us has deployed anything that's using a React framework, we could not, for whatever reason, get like all our npm packages to be installed correctly to deploy it onto GitHub Pages. I know for me, I'm gonna go back and figure out what exactly the problem is because we were really stumped on that and we couldn't figure it out even like to the last minute.
Yeah, totally. I've been there, and I'm sure everyone has, right? Where you're trying to load it and it keeps giving you these like curse errors that, and this is the challenge, right? With development, especially in a short time frame, right? You guys are looking up all these errors and the error is very generic, but there's a million things that could go wrong. So
Yeah.
I definitely applaud you guys for being able to bring the local version to us and like really persevering through that. So my next question is about the API results. You had mentioned that you guys were slicing the API results so that you would only get that first one. And I thought maybe you could explain to people who are not very technical, but might be watching and very excited about it, what slicing those results kind of means at a explaining to my kid kind of a level.
Okay. Explaining to your kid, that's kind of difficult. Um,
Yeah, they're teenagers too. They're going to get real sassy about it.
okay, I'll try my best.
All
So
right, give it a shot.
when we make the API call and we're receiving data back, we receive the data back as an object, and with this object, we had to convert that into an array of items and like convert whatever it was that we were trying, that whatever information we wanted into like an array of items, right? Um, and with that array, we were able to slice it just like a knife when you're like slicing a piece of cake, right? You just slice off parts of the array that you want to concentrate on. That's what we were doing. And I was just like, okay, we just want indiscriminately the first 6 items. And that's kind of that's like what I coded up basically.
Awesome. I think that's a great explanation, right? Like you get the whole cake back, but you don't want the whole cake. You just
Yeah.
want the first 6 slices.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really great explanation. Thank you.
Thanks.
We've got some questions in the chat about, did you make the pictures?
No, that's also coming from the API call. It gives you like a link for each picture.
Great. So then you're able to dynamically kind of put those into the card.
Yeah, because that would have been way too much because that's like hundreds of pictures at that point.
It's a lot of cake.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is Sunny Spoon, and the teammates on that team are Cordelia Crow Drummond, Prince Ravel, Michael Watson, and Jennifer Akano. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
All right. Next is going to be Spring Finder, and that team consists of Juan Ma, Don Carlton, Joanna Hazel, and then Alpha Ba. So, who will be taking over for Spring Finder? Oh, it's a big rush to the front. Spring Finder. Okay, we're going to come back to them while they get their tech issues worked out, and we're going to go to In It to Win It. Okay, so In It to Win It, which already seems to have a nice fan following in our YouTube chat. That team consists of Jacob Reyes, Bree Massengill, Catherine Jacobson, and Imana Vera Walker. So, who will be speaking for In It to Win It?
Hi, everybody.
Hello. All right, Miss Monty,
Okay.
you are ready to share whenever you're ready.
Yes. Katie, could you please share the screen?
Make sure to unmute yourself, Jacob and Katie.
Hi, we're a team in it to win it, and today we're going to be presenting our website, A Breeze of Hope. And here is our team. I'm Imani Vera Walker.
I'm Jacob Reyes.
I'm Katie Jacobson.
And I'm Brie Massengill.
The purpose of our website is to help vulnerable groups of people stay cool during extreme temperatures. And I would like to pass it on to Jacob.
Hello, everyone. I'll be showing you all the key elements of our design and layout for our website, Breeze of Hope. We chose the name Breeze of Hope because in these very hot times, there are many communities that may be overlooked and need to be brought to attention. As far as our design, we focus on the user experience, making it simple to navigate through our website. We use an insert font and light colors such as sky blue paired with black text and tropical background images to promote positivity and highlight important content within the page. When it came to the layout, we can start with the header. This includes our website name and navigation menu highlighted in light blue with hover effects. In the content sections, most of our text is in black with light tropical backgrounds to help the text stand out and promote a positive, more modern feeling. We also have a card layout in our Why Donate section that consists of light blue to white gradient color cards with images. Down below in our charity section, we have another tropical background and a neat function you will learn about more later in the presentation. We can head along to the donations and footer sections that consist of solid color backgrounds, an animated donate button, and shadowed text with images. That pretty much sums up our design and layout. I'll let Amani proceed with the rest.
Have you ever been outside and said to yourself, wow, the humidity is too much to handle. I need a cold bottle of water, or I would like to get inside of an air-conditioned environment. Well, many groups don't have this luxury. And we chose 3 groups of people that we thought were the most vulnerable during times of heat. Our veterans have selflessly served this country, and many veterans continue to serve their communities every day. So to see our veterans in need not have the water that they need to stay cool or any other cooling agents is very disheartening. In our communities, we also see the unhoused standing on the street corners needing water or any other cooling agents to stay cool, and they also do not have what's needed. So if you hover over these links in the header of the cards, it takes you to a page to explain some of the problems that we've also listed in the body of our cards. Dehydration as well as heat stroke is a condition that will dehydration and heat stroke is something that affects everybody. But for children, it is especially hard to stay cool. And growing up, I always was blessed and fortunate enough to have what I was needed. But a lot of children, they don't have that. So we really wanted to emphasize and bring attention and awareness to the problems that people face in not having the agents to stay cool. And I would like to pass this along to Katie.
Thank you, Amani. So in this section below, we have the ability to look for specific charities that work with these populations. After selecting a cause, charity cards are generated that include the name of a charity, the location, and a link to a profile page on every.org. We use a charity API provided by every.org that fetched information that can be searched by cause. So if we change to a different cause, when we click check, then it will take away the old cards and generate new cards with the charities that work with those populations. I gained a lot of insight on choosing an API to work with. We originally started with a different charity API, which didn't have as much information in the database. So I learned how to read documentation to pull the information from the API. For future steps, we would want to use the additional information such as charity website and logo to populate the card as well. But since it wasn't available for every charity, we didn't have time to do that. And now I'm going to turn it over to Bree.
Thank you, Katie. First, I have a few things I want to show you. We have our donation section where you can offer items to donate. and people in your local community can request those items. So if you click on the button, it opens up a form where you can put in your email, your location, the item when you want to donate, or the URL image of your donation. And when you submit, it renders a card on the page so that other users will be able to see it and they can contact you and request your donation. To improve upon this, we would like to add the ability to filter the cards by location. And we'd also like to be able to send donations directly to the organization of your choice with the API set up. But unfortunately, we didn't have the time to do that. Next, we have the section showcasing our team. We've made some animated buttons you can click to access our personal pages on LinkedIn or GitHub. So I encourage all of you to connect with us and also check out the work we accomplish in our repositories. Finally, I want to highlight the responsive design of our page. We've created elements on the page that change according to the screen size, but we've also set media queries to adjust font sizes and the layout orientation for mobile, ensuring a seamless experience across all the devices. Unfortunately, a large amount of the media queries affected the performance of our page. So given more time, we would refine our page elements a bit more to reduce the number of media queries needed to set up. And that about wraps up the page presentation. So to close everything out, I'll send it back to Amani.
Thank you, Bree. You guys can all check out our website using the link below. And our mission is to advocate for those who can't advocate for themselves. And we really appreciate you guys listening to our presentation. Thank you. Well, let's make a change together.
I guess any questions on this?
Yay, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, so I have questions. Yes, indeed. Okay, so the first thing is that I don't know who you guys paid or bribed with chocolates and brandy, but it's working because in the YouTube chat, there is lots of support for you guys there. And I'm sure it's because you paid and bribed and not because you have like a worthwhile cause or anything that you're creating. I mean, can't possibly be that. So I do want to like talk about what some of the questions and comments have been there. So the first one is from SJ and says, I love this movement. It really hits home for me because I have many veterans in my family. I love Team In It to Win It.
Oh, thank you.
But that one was really lovely. And then my favorite one is from Nailscent LLC, who says, yo, that glass card effect is spot on. I love that. And so I really love that comment as well. I think you guys did an amazing job. The things that I wanted to ask about is just to anyone on your team is it's obviously such a wonderful cause. Do you guys have plans to kind of continue this project and maybe bring it to from an MVP to like a little polished, finished something that people can use in their area?
Yeah, actually, when our project was done and we were sort of just settling down, talking about everything afterwards, we were talking about like, we want to keep doing projects in the future. Like we all had fun working on this and we really got along. It felt like the communication in our channel just flowed so naturally. And I don't think we really ever had any big conflicts. And so it was a really great opportunity to work with them. And it makes me eager to work with them more in the future. And so, I mean, I assume you guys would all agree that we've already established we're open to working together already. And if we continue this, I would be happy with that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely. We really want, we really feel passionate about all the causes that we chose, and we really want to move forward, and we work together really well as a team. Like as Bree said, we didn't have any conflicts. We were all very open to each other's ideas, and we really want to continue, with this project, and hopefully everyone will be able to use it and actually, work with and donate to these causes.
Yeah, I think it's really great. I really hope you do. And I know that we have a number of our tutors that work at TripleTen that are in the software engineering program, and they themselves have their own kind of projects they've been working on the side. And a lot of them have really brought them from an MVP to things that provide real value for companies or communities. And so in our Discord channels, I know that you can definitely reach out to some of them and see what that iterative process looks like. Because this obviously huge need. It was 105 here in Colorado. So obviously something we need.
I would love that.
In terms of the comments that they were talking about on the YouTube chat about those effects that you guys add, I wondered if you guys had a favorite little part that you guys added or effect or like a part that you enjoyed working on the most. I just, wanted to kind of get a little nerdy for a second about it.
Well,
I
honestly,
think
for
Katie
me,
can go ahead and explain that.
yes.
I mean, I worked primarily on the API and pulling the information from the API, the different charity APIs. And like I said before, there was one that we looked at originally that just didn't give back as much information. But the one that we ended up choosing from every.org, they had some information from some of these for some of these charities, like really cool stuff like a logo and like the link to the website. So we could actually connect them directly to the website. But since it wasn't
That's
available
cool.
for every charity, it would have been hard to populate the cards without going through some conditionals to not have that undefined that would cause the website to break. So we made some choices just for a time perspective to have the most basic information and then link to every.org, which also has that information as well. So that was my favorite part of it. But I know everyone had something that, like, we were so supportive of each other, of like everyone adding in the thing that they really liked about it. So, I mean, we probably all could say something about that.
We could go on for a long time.
Yeah. I
What were
honestly
you
I love
saying,
it.
Amani?
I was
Yeah,
saying I
Imani.
enjoyed the process of like figuring out the problems. When errors came up, a lot of people it might be frustrating, like, oh my goodness, my code's messed up. But I really did enjoy the process to try to find the problems. And all of us, we worked together as a team. We asked each other, like, why is this not working? What do we do for this? And I know when we were deploying it to GitHub Pages, at first we were having some issues, but then we all worked together, we were like, okay, yeah, this is working. And in the end, we were able to get it deployed. So I was really, I really enjoyed being able to see what it's like to work with the team and pushing different commits and just doing pull requests. It was really an amazing experience.
Well, that's great to hear because that's literally every day for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the job. So on the plus side, yay, that means you like it.
Yeah, it was really fun.
The chat is saying that you guys need to consider how people can donate, excuse me, and what your next step could be so that you could get investors to make this go farther. So
Well,
I'm gonna let y'all sit with that for a little bit and maybe stew on that while we move on to our next team. But clearly, in it to win it, you guys definitely grabbed the hearts and the water bottles of the viewership. So really great job. Thank you guys so much. Again, that is In It to Win It with Jacob Reyes, Bree Massengill, Catherine Jacobson, and Imani Vera Walker. All right, our next team is going to be Cocktail Chronicles, which is hysterical to begin with. And that is Nahalil Green. Let's see, no, not Genti. That's stupid. Don't say that. Hensi Taga, Benedict Aurora, and Trang Tuong.
How you guys doing? My name is Nahalio. I also go by Pablo, if that's too difficult. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's important.
Nah, it's okay, man. So I go also by Pablo. So I have the pleasure of presenting me once get my screen ready.
Absolutely. I'm so excited.
Great. So can y'all see my screen?
Yes, I can see all of our beautiful faces.
Yeah, that too. All right. So I'm gonna start off with the Figma design. It's one of my main contributors for the project. So I think this is very important. It really allowed us as a team to come together and collaborate our ideas, and then for me to actually be able to implement those ideas and give a reference for my team to work behind or to go back to. And it really just gave me an idea of what it's like to design in the real world and just get a full experience. I never actually did this before. Any other on my own as far as for other websites. It's really cool to really discover that on your own and really dive into that and really find that out. So with that, I just had some things in mind what I wanted the layout to be, things I wanted to implement, like creating a logo, how I wanted the card designs to look, how we wanted everything to just have a reference. And when we look at the website in a minute, you'll see that everything is not exactly the same, but it's a very, very similar in the sense that we can also again have some sort of reference to. And so as you can see right here, this is the actual website. And this is what we were able to design and come up with through that. And the main purpose of this website was to really allow for when people were just during the summertime when it's really, really hot outside, you want to enjoy that hot summertime. We're at the beach, at the pool. You might want to make a cocktail. So we went with the most popular, as you can see, vodka, gin, tequila, and rum. And as we'll get into the project as my teammates get to explain, but it's really just a good place for people to find recipes and things of that nature for their favorite type of drinks. And from here, I pass it on to my teammate, TT.
Hi, my name is TT. I was in charge of the header of the website. And as you can see, there is a header logo, Cocktail Chronicles Summer Selections, which kind of tells you what the website is about. And then on the right, we added the navigation bar of the 4 drinks that we've included. So once you click on it, it would lead you to a, a specific section using anchor links. And then on the right side, there's a dark and light mode button that Genti will go over it with you later. We have also included the like an introduction and also an arrow, like a one arrow with some animation that shows you where to click to go to these recipes. All right, I will pass this on to Genti.
Thank you, T. Hope everybody doing great today. I was mostly focused on the sections with the cards. Basically, following the Figma design is what we went with the border radius. But we decided to do the ingredients as an effect when you hover over the cards, and they will show once you hover over any of them, or if you're on mobile, you basically need to press on top of it. To make it a little bit more easy to understand that this is a card that if you hover over it, it will do something more like a button. We added a box shadow as an effect. For most of these cards, to make it mobile responsive, we actually used the Flexbox, and I used the property of Flex Wrap. So if you move to a bigger screen size, you'll see that the cards will adjust. Can you make it a little bit bigger? All right, there we go. Basically, the cards are all the same on each section, but the pictures will match the drink name. Besides that, we decided to also add the dark mode, which for some users can be better. I prefer to look at websites that have a little bit of that's easier on the eyes, basically. And this is what we achieved with a dark mode. And since our skills are mostly up to JavaScript and only TD had done React, the whole website we decided to do only in HTML and CSS. And that's basically it with the sections with the card. And move on to the footer.
Hello, my name is BJ Roja, and I will be presenting the footer section of our Cocktail Chronicles website. So on the left, you see the logo of the animation kind of pulsate going in and out, which represents a cocktail glass with a beautiful gradient effect. The branding text Cocktail Chronicles is styled to match this gradient, providing a cohesive and appealing visual theme. The gradient transitions from like a lighter to a darker blue, evoking the diverse flavors and experience of the cocktails. So kind of moving to the right, you see the contributors section. This section proudly displays the name of our team members who have worked on the project, each accompanied by a GitHub icon. As you can see, as he's hovering over the names, you see it kind of looking like how the nav link looks like up top. This indicates that their profiles can be, accessed on GitHub, fostering our professional acknowledgement. So at the bottom left, you'll see the copyright notice, which states that our project content is protected and owned by us. This adds a layer of professionalism, what we did, and our ownership So the overall design uses a soft blue background, creating a calming and inviting atmosphere that aligns with our brand's theme. The layout is straightforward, ensuring all our elements are well placed and easy to read without overwhelming the users. So on the far right side, you see the arrow. So instead of you having to scroll up, you can just click on it to automatically reach the top. And that would be the end of our presentation. Is there any questions?
Just me. All right. Would you be a favor? Nahalia, why don't you go ahead and stop sharing so that I can see everybody's face though. There everybody is. Hello. Okay, so quick update from the chat. Let's see, Ruben, who is a student. I that name is very familiar. I'm pretty sure he was in our last code jam last month. Says this looks good and he loves the dark mode. There is a personal shout out for Nahalil. Great job. Good job there. And there's a lot of people who really love the structure of this page and who really loves the clean lines of this. And I think the one thing I want to call attention to was that piece where you guys mentioned at the very end that you only use HTML and CSS for this. So that I'm hoping just like blows the minds of everybody watching because everyone thinks you have to get super complicated with React and JavaScript and all of that. Maybe one of you guys could come on and tell me about like the thought behind just using the vanilla kind of palette, so to speak, with your coding.
Sure, probably I can jump into that. The main idea for that was because only TD is on Spring 12, I believe. I have done up to like JavaScript, and basically I thought we should go with an approach where everybody could do everything, even if we switch the roles around, and whatever code we put, everybody would understand what's going on. That was kind of like the main thing. Plus, I think for whatever we wanted to present, it didn't need anything complicated. For the future, we might add JavaScript and use APIs to get drinks from other recipe websites, which would technically make the work easier for us. Like you just make a website and then get the data from somebody else instead of having to put every drink manually. Or also add something like people can go and post their own drinks themselves if they have some special recipe that's not out there and want to share with everybody else.
Yeah, I think it's really a great idea to think through that idea of iteration, right? You know, you guys started with HTML and CSS, and this looks amazing. Like you guys have added features that I think a lot of people commonly think you need JavaScript or React to do, right? Like the jump to top of page. I know everyone thinks that's got to be JavaScript. The light mode and dark mode. I didn't even know you could do that in just CSS. So that kind of is just
I did some research online and I figured out how to do it only with CSS. So it was actually the first time for me too. But
oh man, yeah, I want to follow up with you and find that out because that's one of the features I wanted to add to my personal websites, my Tiffany Code website. And I was like, I don't want to add more JavaScript to it because I do want it to be very simple and clean. So
if I can just say something, it's basically using a checkbox. That button is a checkbox and using CSS. And that's what it basically is.
Yeah, everyone in the chat and myself have this face of like, that sounds like madness. I can't believe it. You're like a magician.
Thank you, but I mean, it was just research online. I didn't come up with it from scratch.
I mean, none of us do, right? Like that's kind of the joke. None of us know what we're doing, but we know how to search for things.
Right.
I do really like though that as a team that you guys especially took the time to think through the democratization of your team, right? And the code access to your team. So TT, you're on 12. So was it like a piece of cake for you just because you're on 12 and you're like, oh, the CML, HTML, CSS stuff is like old hat by now? Or did you feel like, oh, this was nice to be able to get a refresher on that?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I'm glad to get a little refresher on this because the last time I worked with HTML and CSS was a really long time ago. So that was really nice and fun way for me to go back and kind of apply what I've learned in the past on this project.
Yeah, super cool. All right, well, you guys did an amazing job. So that again is Cocktail Chronicles, and I've got Nahalil Green against Taga, BJ Arroyo, and TC.
Yep.
Thank you guys so very much. See, I'm so much better with the names after I've heard you guys say them. I'm so sorry. Cool.
You're good.
Okay, so we're gonna go on to Mixed List. That's our next theme. Mixed List is going to be Talata Reynolds, Jack Manzone, Avery Morgan, and Dimitri Kovenko.
Yeah, I'll be doing the introduction for that one.
All right, take it away, Jack.
Yeah, so I'm excited to present our project Mix List. It's an interactive platform. Wait for Dimitri to start sharing. Yeah, so it's an interactive platform for discovering and sharing cocktail recipes. Users can discover, share, create cocktail recipes. They can search for random ones. The API we used actually has quite a extensive list, and I found drinks on there that I'd never heard of. And yeah, I mean, the whole goal was just to create a fun and engaging way for users to explore new drinks with a visually appealing and user-friendly experience. And yeah, we implemented a night mode. And yeah, I'll let Dimitri dive into the key features and functionalities that make Mixlist an exciting and unique platform.
All right, hi everyone. I'm going to be presenting the main features of the website. So as you can see, we are actually using an API to pull all the images, and all the ingredients are shown on the back of the card with a hover effect. And so the initial cards are loaded from an API. We have a button that's actually going to add 10 more cards from the same exact API. All right. Every single button has a hover effect, and we do actually have a backend connected to it. So if you go ahead and add cocktail, like let's say Bloody Mary, you post in the link. I don't actually know how to make a Bloody Mary. I'm just making it up. Would be something like that. And that would actually add Bloody Mary to our website as well as our database. So that same cocktail would come back on refresh. And that's our team right here. And that's about it. Oh, we also do have a dark mode as well. Yeah, and I'm gonna pass it over to Avery.
Yeah, yeah, Mixlist is a unique platform. We really wanted to make sure that this was engaging for cocktail enthusiasts. Maybe someone wanted to log a favorite drink or explore something. So we wanted to make sure that this was interactive with the recipe cards. You can see there's like that flip. You can see all the ingredients for that. I think looking ahead, some enhancements we can make is making sure that there's even more engagement between users. So maybe there's a way to share your favorite drink, where you got it from, maybe allowing for people to comment on different cards. Would love to be able to have people make some kind of library or galleries. Maybe if you want a specific gallery for summer drinks versus winter drinks, something like that. And then we have made this web responsive. So yeah, if you change the size, it we'll adjust accordingly. But I think we would want to kind of build out a mobile application a little bit more in the future. And so I hope everyone enjoys this. Invite you to explore Mixless and share and discuss different cocktails that you enjoy. And thanks for your time. Happy to field any questions.
Oh, I think this is awesome. I think in the chat on YouTube and in our chat here locally, everyone wants to know about that flip. Oh, who added the flip? Who wants to talk about that?
Dimitri and I actually were on a call together trying to figure that out. And so it took a little bit of researching, a little bit of asking why isn't this working? But eventually got it to work.
That's really great. And in terms of the button, everyone also very much in the chat loves the rainbow effect on the mix button. And so like there's lots of little bits that you guys have added to what could be a really simple kind of like a simple page. And so I wonder, like, was that part of your team's planning to add all these like simple fun factors, or were they things that you guys just while you were researching, you found these things and thought to add them in?
Yeah,
That's
that
to anyone.
was like just in the moment kind of thing. Like people were busy working on like one section, and I didn't want to like mess with it because we didn't like do any different branches or anything. We were kind of all working in the main branch. So while I was waiting for someone to finish something there, I'd like just try to work on the animation or something like that.
Yeah, so much fun. And then in terms of like the communication, now you guys didn't use branching for your commits, and that gives me anxiety thinking about it. But how did you guys manage that without like overriding and merge conflicts? Like I'm sweating thinking about it.
Well, it's such a small project, and it was like pretty simple, and we're always communicating. So I think that made it easier. I think if it was any more complex, like if there's another HTML page or something like that, we definitely be
So maybe if you guys added some of those like the favorites or the people where they can build their own kind of list, that might be a place where you guys would branch off.
Yeah, probably.
That seems super awesome. Well, I very much enjoyed this one. I love all the special little things. I know that we're already going to be asking Yente for the repo in the student chat in our student Discord for the light dark mode in the CSS, but there's a large call for the flip feature as well. So if you guys could put the repo where you grabbed that, that would be dope. All right, so that is Mixless, and that is Talisa Reynolds, Jack Doan, Avery Morgan, and Demetris Slinko-Vinko. And then our next and last team for the evening is the Summer Adventurers. And they're not able to be here, but they did send me their presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and present for them. Let's get her going. All right, special unicorn powers. Here we go. All righty, so they've got their page, and I'm going to go ahead and hit play. There are two parts to this, so I will play part one, and then I will queue up part two.
Hi everyone, we're the Summer Adventurers. We, Brianna, MJ, Sean, and Lala made a web app to help you beat the heat. This app provides community members a way to come up with fun activities to help them stay cool that suit their needs based on cost, location, time of day, and activity level. We made this app despite conflicting schedules and even a power outage. Everyone was able to contribute. For instance, Sean helped with the filtering system, which he will go into more detail in a separate video. MJ made the full design in Figma and wrote the JavaScript to store the card data and the user information. Lala helped with the HTML and CSS, the React components, and deploying the website. And Brianna helped with the presentation. Next time you're caught up in the heat, you need to cool down, use this app to help you find an activity that best suits your needs. And now for the demo. We can choose as many options you would like. Let's choose mid-cost, indoor, location, and let's click on submit. Oh, we got a lot of activities to choose from. Visit a museum, bowling, ice skating, and it filters perfectly. Now it's time for Sean's video.
Okay, let me grab the part 2.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Dishman. I know that we don't have a whole lot of time for this, so I'm going to try to make it quick. I helped kind of create the actual DOM, the actual, the entire project in itself. Got it put on GitHub. I was a part of creating the array, created the entire array, got all the information from friends, family, just various things like suggestions and stuff. All the images come from Unsplash, and make sure to give credits or add in a credit section so it can be displayed. Prices are, just kind of like potential price points. Obviously, they're not like set numbers. I had no way to really do that. And then I was also the person that created the filtering system, not the actual cards populating. That was MJ, just the filtering. I'll run through it really fast just to kind of give you a general idea because I don't want to take up too much time. Basically, it uses the React states. We start off with empty arrays. It checks to see if those arrays, if those filters have been checked. If it does, it pushes it to the array. And then whenever it pushes, this right here will actually check and see if that contains, recommended price categories and stuff like that. And then also, if you submit, it will also clear out the arrays again. That way, you have a nice clean slate to be able to reselect from your choices again after hitting submit. Sorry if that was too short. If it's too long, I apologize. I wish I could be there, but unfortunately I have to work. So best of luck, everybody. Thanks again for having me, and good luck, everyone.
All right. So that was our team. Stop sharing. Make sure we can see everybody's lovely face again. All right. So that was the Summer Adventurers. And I really liked that they showed the code in their presentation. That's one of the things that a lot of people who watch these, I get a lot of messages from people who are thinking about joining the program, but then they see all of your amazing projects and they think in their head, as I'm sure we all have been through, right, that the code they must have written is like huge and massive. And so it's really nice that he showed off the code because you saw those functions, they were just like 6-10 lines to be able to check all of the conditions. So it's not super overwhelming. And again, something really cool that you don't start out learning how to do, and then you get to a place further in the project and you do learn how to do them. So again, in the chat and the YouTube chat, a lot of people really also liked seeing the back end of the code. I really like the idea behind this project too. I don't know if any of y'all have been there, but when I think about things like I don't want to go outside, but I need to do something active, I just end up taking my kids to the mall and letting them run around. So this is definitely a really welcome respite from that decision. So now I can see if there's other options available. All right. So for tonight, those are all of our presentations. So I want to make sure that I go over again the information about the when the presentations and the code, we will have winners for those. Okay. So let's see in the chat. Yes, I will go over when that is. All right. So right now, by request from our YouTube watchers, July 24, 10 a.m. Eastern, on our socials at TripleTen and in the student Discord channels. That's when we're going to announce the winners. The students are going to be able to vote in the student Discord. Obviously, we have lots of chat going on tonight, and there have been lots of votes cast for the various teams. So if you're watching, make sure that you just sum up your little chat tonight by lodging your vote. That would be very helpful to us. I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. It's such a great turnout, and you guys did such amazing things in 4 days worth of time with a wide variety of languages. It is so rad to see. Like, again, not a one-trick pony. Any one of you guys went from HTML and CSS, the bare minimum of what we consider to be like, front end development, back end development, all the way to like super amazing React components and API calls. And I'm just so impressed. So really awesome job. I want to send a special thanks to the TripleTen people that helped us organize tonight. So that is Devin, Natasha, Alyssa, Olivia, Arena, Nadia, Julia, and my cat Sharkbait. He's not actually a TripleTen employee. He just likes the moonlight. Thank you again for all the participants for presenting your work. Thank you also in advance to those people who are going to drop those repos to those things that we really like. Make sure that you share, because sharing is caring in the developer community. All right, my name is Tiffany Hall. You can find me at Tiffany Codes on Instagram, and you can probably find my cat Sharkbait on top of the refrigerator waiting for a snack. So with that, I'm going to say good evening to all of you.